Welcome to This Is Getting Old, moving towards an age-friendly world. I'm your host, Melissa Batchelor, and on today's episode, I'm going to be talking about top car considerations for older drivers. So when I was thinking about doing this episode, I was really thinking more about it from like the technologies that are in my car that I consider to be age-friendly. But when I started Googling like best cars for older drivers, a lot of what came up had to do with seating comfort, how easy it was to get in and out of the car, the safety ratings and reliability and kind of warranty information. There were actually very few articles that focused on technologies and how they could help older drivers. So as we age, some of us may prefer to drive cars with all these bells and whistles, and some of us may not like the technology. So it just depends a lot on your personality. My dad loves technology, loves new technology. My mom just wants the technology that she's familiar with. So a lot of it really just depends on your personality. And a lot of the features that I'm going to talk about today are actually friendly for drivers of all ages, which means that it's actually truly age friendly. So my youngest son turned 16 a couple of weeks ago, and he's had his learner's permit for a while. And I've actually had to promise him that I will not freak out if Foxy hasn't. So Foxy's the name of my car, and I love her. So let's look at just a few of the technologies in cars that I consider to be age friendly and how they can help drivers of all ages. So number one, blind spot information system with cross traffic alert. So this is great. I needed this feature as soon as I moved to Northern Virginia. There's a lot more traffic up here, and it was really hard to see drivers on either side of me when I wanted to change lanes. So actually, it was this feature, this blind spot feature on my side mirrors that I first got in a new vehicle when I moved up here, and I called it my Northern Virginia car for that reason. This is great if you're a passenger and you're worried that your kid might not have looked to see if anybody was in the blind spot. So it's something I can see and he can see too. Number two, front 180-degree camera with a split view. So I decided that I needed to get this feature in a vehicle when I went to an event a couple of years ago, and it was in this flat, grassy kind of parking lot. And as I got ready to leave, I looked all around the vehicle and didn't see anything that would prevent me from leaving. So I decided that I would just pull forward and leave. But the only ditch in that whole parking lot was right in front of me. And it happened to be about 5 feet wide. So the front end of my car fit perfectly into that ditch. It involved a lot of cackles from my older two children and a tow truck, and was a hot mess. So I was like, fine, I probably need to get a front camera. And there's actually a couple of intersections in Washington, D.C., and as well as like my dry cleaner here, where having this front camera is really nice because it lets me inch out and use that camera to see people coming before pulling out. Number three, the park assist system for parallel parking. I did not need to do as much parallel parking when I've lived in other places. There's a lot of it that is required here. And so I love this feature because you can put the blinker on and it will find a parking spot and parallel park your car either on the right or the left side. And I have to say that Davis was particularly proud of himself when he mastered using this technology feature for the first time. Number four, adaptive cruise control with the stop and go feature. This is great if you're in heavy traffic. You can put your cruise control on and it will adjust to the speed of the car in front of you. So that's been great. The stop and go feature though, I really love this, particularly in the rain. If I'm trying to follow behind someone and maybe visibility isn't as good. And so it will do kind of this adaptive cruise and help me with the car in front of me as long as it's not raining like too bad. Then it cuts off and says, you're on your own, which is fine. Number five, perimeter and rear parking sensors. I know that this is one that saves a lot of people from backing into things. It also should prevent you from hitting anything basically around your entire car. And I can give you an example of my car warning me that there was something on my right-hand side, and I thought I had enough room to clear it, and clearly I did not. So I love this perimeter rear parking sensor, and from now on, I think I'll just wait until Foxy's not freaking out and adjust myself in some way so that I don't end up putting her in the hospital, which is basically what happened when she had to go to the auto body shop. Number six, this infotainment touchscreen system. Basically, this is Apple Play. I love being able to use my smartphone. This is really great when you rent a car, but it basically allows you to, all the apps that you normally use on your smartphone, you can use it from car to car because you just plug your phone in and you can use Waze, you can use Apple Music, anything that you normally would use without necessarily having to know how to use that particular car's like touchscreen system. Not all cars do this, but hopefully they all will soon. The other added benefit to this is the voice control. I can ask Siri to change the music in addition to using the hand buttons on the steering wheel. So all of that I love. And then the last one for me is kind of the lane keeping system. Again, this is really helpful when I'm riding with a new driver because it lets me know, even if I'm sitting in the passenger seat and I feel like I'm out of my lane, I can look over and tell if he's in his lane or not. So that's really more of a feature that I love as a passenger than necessarily for myself. So the most important thing that for any car that we drive is that that it fits us for maximum safety and comfort. So I found this program that AAA, AARP, and the American Occupational Therapy Association are doing. They partnered in 2008 to offer this program called CarFit. And it's a community-based program that's designed to help older drivers stay safe while driving by focusing on the things that I saw when I first started researching this, which is comfort, fit, and how safe they fit into their vehicle. The program's designed to help older drivers find out how well they fit into their current vehicle, identify actions they can take to improve their fit, and talk about driver safety for themselves and others on the road. Because believe it or not, older drivers actually are some of the safest drivers on the road. So they have in-person events, they have other virtual workshops, and you can sign up to be a volunteer and help keep the road safer for everyone. So you can find out more information at carfit.org, and it's car-fit.org. And the link, I'll have it below in the description here on YouTube if you're listening there. I would also have it on my website at melissabphd.com in the blog for this episode. And feel free to share your favorite technology in your car or any other ideas you have about how cars either are age-friendly or how they could become more age-friendly. So thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for tuning in to This is Getting Old, Moving Towards an Age-Friendly World. I'm your host, Melissa Batchelor, and if you'd like to learn more, you can check out my other episodes on my YouTube channel by subscribing and ringing the bell to get immediate notifications when new content comes out. In addition, you can also find the audio version of the podcast on Amazon Music, Spotify, iTunes, and Stitcher. Please feel free to leave an honest review because more reviews mean more awareness of the podcast and helps us move towards an age-friendly world. If you have a comment or a question, you can visit my website, melissabphd.com. Go to the Contact Melissa tab, and you can leave me a voice message. You never know, it might just include your question or your comment in an upcoming episode.